Hi, this is the elementary Sunday school video for February 18th, this Sunday. Sunday school's at 10 o'clock in the temporary building. The story the kids are reading is The Rich Man. This is from Mark chapter 10, verses 17 through 31. This is what it looks like in the Shine Bible. It's on page 240. So relatively long story, and they can take turns reading if they want to. The activities and questions I will send you from the lesson will be included as well. So this is the story of Jesus telling people that to get into the kingdom of heaven, you're going to have to give away your possessions, right? These are your earthly possessions are not things that will help you in the afterlife and help you get into heaven, right? It's not about that. So there's a couple of things, the activities they can have the kids do. One of them you might want to do before you read the story, because then they'll see how it relates. And this is under the Build community right here. That's on page 74 of the lesson that I'll send you. So this is the idea of they'll sit in a circle, maybe on the floor, and you go around the circle a couple times if there's a small group of kids, or just once if there's a lot. And you play If I Were Going on a Trip. Right? So you say, if I were going on a trip, and you have to pick out something you would leave behind, something that you think normally you would take on a trip, but you're like, I'm going to leave this behind. Maybe it's my favorite stuffed animal, my favorite book, my favorite pair of tennis shoes. Like, what would I not take with me if I had to leave on a trip? I think we've talked about it before sometimes in the aspect of refugees and people having to leave their home permanently. And what do you choose to take and what do you choose to leave behind? And that's a harder discussion, but it's another way to talk about the story and understanding, like, if you think about getting into heaven as the trip, what are we not taking with us, right? So that's just kind of an icebreaker thing that the kids might enjoy. The questions under Wonder and Reflect are things like, I wonder why the man thought his stuff was so important. So that's a good question for all of us. I wonder how not having a lot of stuff might get in the way of us following Jesus. There's a similar question that's in the Shine Bible up here under Connect. Sometimes getting new toys makes us want even more toys. How might having too many things get in the way of following Jesus? And I think that's something to really think about, that the kids might want to spend some time talking about. So ask those questions as well. From an activity perspective, then, there's a couple of good ones, and you won't have time for all of these, and you can pick and choose depending on number of kids and what they're into. So the first one is creating a giving chest. So they have, and this is on page 76 of the lesson I'll send you, there's a template in the back as well, but I think I have boxes. So this is what the template looks like, and they say to like print it out on cardstock and then decorate, cut it out and decorate it, and it'll make basically a little box that you can put things in. Let's see, discuss how you might use the chest for things you want to give away. So you put things in there that you might want to give to other people, almost like the homeless bags we create. Are there things in here that you would want to give to others that would help them? I have some boxes that'll be easier to fold, I think, and then decorate them both with markers. I'll have glue and things they can stick on the outside that might be decorative, more exciting than just coloring on something, and really take some time with it. They recommend you write on the outside of it, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also, from Matthew. And that's fine too. If the kids want to add that, you can give that to them as an option. It's not necessary though. So that's kind of the crafty, creative part. There's a writing idea they have, and I kind of like these, but it all depends on what the kids are into, where you write new endings to the Bible stories. So it's kind of the what if endings, right? So what happened if the rich man had listened to Jesus? How might that story have ended differently, and what would that have looked like? I'll have pencil and paper available on the bookshelf in the temporary building room if there are kids who want to do that. There's also a game, and I know you want time to do all these things. So the craft, the writing, and the game, you're going to have to pick and choose. I will print out the instructions and it's about resources and what you have. So there's these cards, and this will be printed on cardstock and cut out for you already, that have resources and needs. And depending on how many kids you have, it's about dividing people up into families, and they get a certain number of resources and they pick needs from a bowl, and then they have to figure out how they're going to meet their needs, basically. So the instructions for that are here in the lesson that I'll send you, and I'll have the cards ready. It may not be something we get to today, or it may be the only thing they want to do, and that's fine too. But I'll save those so that if we don't do them today, they could be used at another time probably. Let me know if you have any questions about the lesson, and if there's other things you see there that you want to do, that's fine too. I'll be teaching the youth, but I'll be around, so if you need anything, let me know. Thank you.